Hey everyone, the numbers are in for Breakfast Point for 2023. I'm Craig Duran over with the Duran Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Breakfast Point resident since, for those of you who don't know, since the beginning of the community back over in phase one. In this video, I'm going to go through pricing trends in 2023 to see sort of what happened with the market, but also take a look ahead at where we think things may be headed in 2024 so you guys can make some plans. A couple housekeeping items real quick. Let me know. I'm going to drop this in the Facebook owners group. So if you watch this, either comment on that or shoot me a note and just let me know if these updates are helpful for you or not. Are these things, is this something you'd like to see once a month, once a quarter? I've gone away from doing them monthly, but I'm getting some mixed reactions from people of saying like, hey, Craig, what's going on in the market? So let me know what you think. Also, if you're selling in 2024, whether it's in Breakfast Point or anywhere else in the country, or if you have friends or family that you care about, that may be selling in 2024, before we go into pricing, I want to show you something critically important. Selling real estate in 2024 is not like selling real estate 5, 10, 15 years ago. And when I first started 20 years ago, we were just scratching the surface with using professional photographers. Really weren't even getting into dealing with individual websites and things like that. But check out a couple statistics that you want to share with anybody you care about that is selling this year. Just a few things for you. 51 of home. This is a preview of a campaign we're getting ready to run. So we're still working, putting the finishing touches on it. You'll see. But check this out. 51% of home shoppers use YouTube as their number one. This will say one when we get it corrected. As their number one destination for research. 51% of people use YouTube as their number one source for research. Another one, 75% of home buyers consider a virtual tour to be a significant factor in their decision-making process. And this is the big one. Real estate listings marketed with videos, it should say, receive 403% more inquiries than those without. Check this out. Real estate listings marketed with video receive 403% more inquiries than those without. So unpack that for just a second, then we'll look at pricing. Google's the number one search engine. YouTube's the number two search engine out there. We know Facebook, Instagram, TikTok all put very, very high priority on video content. We all consume videos. We like to watch video. Honestly, there's so much other flat content, so to speak, out there that any kind of video that gets out onto the web automatically is pushed out by all these platforms. So if you start understanding that, you see very quickly why real estate listings marketed with videos receive 403% more inquiries, because these platforms just push it out there that much more. So make sure when you're marketing or you have someone that you know selling, give them some advice. Hey, not only is it professional photography, that should just be the standard, but it should be professional videographer. It's not someone, an agent walking through with the cell phone saying, oh, hey, here I am in the master bedroom. It's a professional videographer with professional editors, professionally shot 3D tours. All those things are going to make a big difference, especially in a market where things are taking a little bit longer to sell. One statistic I didn't show you that we're also going to roll out, I think it's homes marketed with 3D tours sell 28% faster. So there's just a real push to make sure that your marketing isn't just photos anymore. It's a full multimedia presentation, and all of those media assets get marketed all over the place. It's not just, hey, I've got these, a cool video and some photos I put on the MLS system. So anyway, enough of that. I beat a dead horse there. Let's look at pricing. I'm only in this video going to look at Breakfast Point. Nothing against Breakfast Point East, just to go through the data cleanly to look at some trends, because we have so many more properties in Breakfast Point and it's a little more established neighborhood. We're going to focus just on that. The same ideas and principles will carry over to Breakfast Point East. If you're in Breakfast Point East or want some specific information, let me know. I can put some quick numbers together for you. So starting with months of inventory, you guys know I almost laugh every time I put this up. Remember, 5 or 6 months of inventory represents a neutral. balanced market in real estate. The market's not in favor of buyer or seller. The longer we stay in the seller market territory, the more price appreciation we generally see. The longer we stay in buyer market territory, the more price depreciation we can expect. March of last year, we were at 2.61 months of inventory. This is for homes priced between 400 and 750,000 in all of PCB. It steadily moved up, but not a ton. By October, we were at 5.14 months of inventory. So we slowed from seller market here to about neutral. One little spike in November to 9.43, but we're really still hovering around neutral market territory. So even though interest rates were high most of last year, they've come down a little bit in the last 6 weeks. We're still in a pretty neutral market, which is not a bad thing. That at the very worst, prices should have been remaining flat through most of 2023. We're going to look at that in a second. We'll look at sales a couple of different ways. Let's start with just new construction so we can see what kind of trends we can pick up looking at only new construction sales. Then we'll go into resales. Let's look at similar square footage. So if we look at the smaller 3-bedroom, 2 baths from the new builders, $463,000 sale. And I also have this organized chronologically, so early in the year to later in the year. So if we're trying to find some other of the small ones, there was a $463,000 sale up to $496,000. Another one at $449,000 in about the same square footage, $472,500, $460,000, $472,500, $486,13. I'm just looking at about the 1,600 square foot plans. Prices will bounce around a little bit with the builder. A couple reasons. Obviously, the amount of upgrades someone chooses will be a factor, and also when the property was contracted. If someone contracted prior to construction, you could be looking at a lower price. If someone bought a spec late in the process, it could be a little higher. Let's look at 4 bedrooms. Let's take about a 2,500 square foot house. $603,000 sale earlier in the year, $622,000, $611,000. So it gives you an idea, price is pretty flat like I was talking about. Builders, a lot of times too, one thing to key in on, and this maybe helps you too if you know anyone buying new construction anytime soon. Builders in a flat or a slower market are more keen to try to keep pricing as high as they can on the contract, but maybe give you some incentives. So you've probably seen builders running a lot of specials, whether it's buying down interest rates or giving you closing costs incentives or throwing in, window treatments, appliances, all those kind of things. A builder obviously would like to keep a price higher on the deed that closes. That's going to be used for appraisal, and throw in these other things rather than reduce the price. Let's look at resales. That's probably where most of us are interested if we are keeping track of how much our property is worth. Again, organized chronologically early in the year going through later in the year. Early in the year, sale on Basin Bayou Drive, a 5-bedroom house. It's $600,000. It's going to be interesting to watch this plan. Watch what happens with this plan throughout the year. 1,998 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2 bath over on Johnson Bayou, sold at $503,100. 4.2 sold at $510. As we move through the year, a 4.3, 3,000 square feet, $635,000. 510,000 over on Ward Creek. We worked on this transaction. 497,000 also over on Ward Creek, a little less square footage. We worked on this one also, 4.3. This was a pretty high price at the time, $570,000 sale. 303 Breakfast Point Boulevard. Now look at this, 5-bedroom house. Remember, 5-bedroom house on Basin Bayou, $600,000 early in the year. 5-bedroom house, $705,000. Again, I know I'm not pulling pools, and certainly Breakfast Point now is established enough that we have homes that are newer and homes that are older. That will affect things, but this will at least give you guys a sense of some things that have happened. Back on Basin Bayou, one of the smaller 3.2s sold for $499. 640,000 over on Basin Bayou. 502 Ward Creek sold at $565. 3.2 sold for $518. A 3.2 for $540. Back over on Cedar Hammock, $540,000 sale, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. We just finished working on this one also, that 5.3. This one with a pool, $715,000. It closed, and another smaller 3.2 for $435. So resales, if we try to pick up some trends, let's look at anything under 2,000 square feet. Early in the year, 503,000. 510,000, 497, 499, 518, 540, a little bit higher, 435, a lot less square feet. So again, somewhat flat pricing throughout the year. Very not terribly surprising when you look at that graph I showed you at the beginning. To look at what's pending right now, again, this is, I think I've got this organized only in resales. So 4 homes pending, priced anywhere from $515 is an asking price, $584,900, $520,000, $719,900. Another strong sale for Breakfast Point. And if you are thinking of selling, here is what's for sale, but I've got this together now. I skipped ahead a little bit. Pending, this is pretty solid. I've looked at some neighborhoods already that have 0 houses pending. Over in Whisper Dunes right now, a little smaller community, there's only 1 house pending. So another good sign that Breakfast Point still is a pretty steady, popular community. If you're thinking of selling in the spring, late spring, here's your competition at the moment, but let's point out the resales. So new construction. Here's a resale. So, oops, let me try this again real quick. Sorry. So that was 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's look at that list. 2 smaller 3.2s asking $469 and $485. A 4.2 asking $499. A 4.3 asking $589, and another 4.2 asking $685. A couple of notes, pro tips for you, so to speak. Anything with a 2-bath, it's not surprising to me that some of the ones that have 2 baths are still on the market. Look at the ones that are pending. You have a couple of the 3 bedrooms. We have more buyers in Breakfast Point that are younger families, not all for sure. So selling something with a 2.5 baths at least, if not 3, is a little easier, and we can usually get a little more of a premium for that. Not that a 2-bath isn't unsellable by any means. You saw 2 of those 2-bath homes are pending. But again, I think there are 2 sides to this story. Only 5 homes for sale is really a pretty encouraging thing. Certainly, we have to compete more with the builders. Builders will be running, again, all kinds of specials. We're competing with new. Buyers certainly like new. So when it comes time to selling, not only are all those marketing things important, like I talk about, you also want to think about some strategies of either some closing cost assistance, maybe interest rate buy downs, all those things to compete with what the builders are doing to make it easier for buyers, especially the buyers that are going to get a loan. One other resource for you, for those of you who like to follow the market and like data, there's a guy out of California, I think, has a company called Altos Research. His name is Mike Simonson. I like to follow. Mike uses a lot of data. I've included one of his videos down in the comments below, or the description below. Check him out. He's very optimistic on sales for 2024. In short, it's he's calling for about a 15% increase in volume. Appreciation, he's still on the fence if we're going to see a little appreciation, slight appreciation, or a little more than that. That's going to depend on a lot of economic factors. But check out Mike if you like some of his stuff. Also, I know a lot of you are already on our email list for e-alerts for Breakfast Point, which means anytime something happens in Breakfast Point, you can be notified. And then also, I know a lot of you receive our weekly email on Friday mornings. It's just called Friday at the Beach. General real estate tips, updates to help you out. So if you're still watching, thanks for watching. Again, I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. My direct line, if you want to give me a call, shoot me a text. I can sign you up for any of that. Again, the e-alerts and the newsletter, there's no charge or obligation for any of that stuff. My number is 850-290-0417. Again, thanks for watching.